Things are heating up after Boston Bruins president Cam Neely absolutely called out Jeremy Swayman and his agent in yesterday's press conference. We have an update from Swayman's agent, Louis Gross. He's also called out Sweeney going back, as well as Cam Neely discussing what's going on here. We need to talk about everything and a few trade rumors that have been popping up. We have a lot to discuss here in this video. Before we get into it, however, we know so 78% of you guys watching right now are not subscribed to the channel. If you're looking for a spot to get all of your Boston Bruins news, you're in the right spot. Hit the sub button. Join me here on the channel as we cover everything Boston Bruins related. Now, we also have a live stream. I'm doing a live stream tomorrow night discussing everything going on in this Jeremy Swayman saga. So make sure to hit the sub button, hit the bell as well. I want to see all of you guys there. Voice your opinions. We're going to have to be having a very big conversation about this because things are getting too crazy to just hold it to ourselves. But without any further ado, let's get to our first topic of the video here, which is Cam Neely has been called out. And like I said in the intro, Louis Gross, agent of Jeremy Swayman, has responded to Cam Neely and his $64 million rant that he had in yesterday's press conference, in the one with Don Sweeney, Jim Montgomery, Charlie Jacobs, I believe, was there as well. And I will play that video now for those who didn't get to see it. What Cam Neely said, which really sparked all of this major, criticism coming from both sides of it. So here is what Cam Neely had to say.
Since you say you were surprised, Cam, can you share any other specifics here, be it what his ask is in terms of dollars or term?
Well, I don't want to get into the weeds with what his ask is, but I know that I have 64 million reasons why I'd be playing right now.
So once again, as you've seen there, Cam Neely really wasn't holding back in this press conference at all, discussing that $64 million, that 64 million reasons why he would sign, and a lot came from this. First of all, let's pull up the screenshot here from Louis Gross, what he had to say to, in response, I guess we should say, of Cam Neely in a very indirect way. But he says, from Louis Gross, who represents Jeremy Swayman, normally I do not release a statement or discuss negotiations through the media. However, in this case, I feel like I need to defend my client. At today's press conference, $64 million was referenced. This is the first time that number was discussed in our negotiations. Prior to the press conference, no offer was made reaching that level. We are extremely disappointed this was not fair to Jeremy Swayman. We will take a few days to discuss where we go from here. And that's a bit of a concerning last part of this from Louis Gross, is see where they go from here. And I've mentioned on the channel here before, many of the, sorry about that, many of the groups of players, groups of teams, any negotiations on the going contract, nothing really wants to get released from this because something like this could occur where you kind of spoil your, your agent or your client's negotiation process, the team's negotiation process, and stuff like this can happen where, stuff gets leaked. Maybe some players and teams didn't want to get it out because you have some criticism on that then, and that could change the whole process of what we're seeing, and that's exactly what we're seeing here. And having this come out, that $64 million was not a thing that we've reportedly seen 8x8 before, and 8x5 reportedly offered as well. So what Louis Gross here saying is much different than what we have been hearing as fans, as critics, as, part-time analysts, whatever we want to call ourselves. And we're seeing these numbers that may be reported and may not be, but this goes on to continue here with a few more things I'm going to pull up, and we'll start off with this one. Sean Simpson said this in response to Pierre LeBrun, and Pierre LeBrun also comments on this. I bet a deal gets done before the end of the week is what Sean Simpson had said, and Pierre LeBrun said, I wouldn't be surprised, or it wouldn't surprise me if it's done by opening night at least, but I've been wrong before. So a lot of people seeming that things are going to be resolving themselves, thinking that this is only a bump in the road, and obviously things like this do happen. Unfortunately, it's definitely not something that a team, player, agent, as Louis Gross mentioned, wants to go through now that you have everybody commenting on the situation, which ultimately does suck, but still, it's part of the process, part of the business, and that is exactly what we've seen Brad Marchand say as well here. This is what he had to say on it. This is part of the game. It's part of the business. It's a part that nobody enjoys. Eventually, a deal is gonna get done, and everybody is gonna move on and be fine. Once again, Brad Marchand speaking in a very professional way on this, kind of keeping our minds easy with it, not getting too far into anything that we don't want to see, any hopes, any things that may be concerning. Still very confident, still very tame, not going too far into it, because I think that he's probably in the same boat as us, except he has direct contact with Jeremy Swayman, but at this point, really don't seem like anybody actually knows what is going on either. And let's move on to our next screenshot here, which is another one that is quite an interesting one after what Louis Gross has said. Boston actual offer to Jeremy Swayman, was 8 by 7.8, which is a total of $62.4 million per Frank Seravalli. And Swayman's camp have been asking for 8.5, which is $68 million totally, and Boston was somewhere close to 6.5 AAV. They feel like they moved up a lot. Now, having Louis Gross come out and say that they have not gotten anything near an 8 by 8 the first time they're hearing this number simply cannot be true. If the offer was 8 by 7.8, that offer is, there. You're not going to kind of put that number out there without discussing an 8 by 8. You're not going to be putting that number out there with no negotiation coming back and forth from that. So having him come out and say that they haven't seen the number of $64 million anywhere, which would be 8 by 8, pretty different from what we're seeing here now from Frank Seravalli. And obviously Frank Seravalli has definitely had a few different opinions out there in his time, but still, if he's getting this information that we're seeing in multiple different places, that's the contract they're offering. So I don't understand what Louis Gross is coming out and saying that they haven't been having this number and whatnot and haven't seen it, because simply I just think that's ridiculous. So let me know what you think about that little bit so far there. We have some more interesting stuff coming up regarding a trade, which we're starting to see now, of course, because of Cam Neely coming out and say that. So let me know what you think about the whole call out from Cam Neely and what Louis Gross had to say about this whole situation. But let's move on to our second one. Is the Swayman trade incoming? Let me ease your mind here very quickly. I don't think so. I could be wrong. Obviously, I have been wrong in the past and whatnot, but I don't think we're going to see a trade just yet, if at all. Obviously, if it gets closer to the date of December 1st, you may see one, but right now, I think not. And that really sparks from this post that we're seeing here. I don't remember where I got this, but this is one of the accounts that everybody sees and legitimately trusted. And see 6 teams here that the Jeremy Swayman has been linked to, I guess we could say, or could be targeting goalie in the Blackhawks, the Red Wings, the Kraken, Flyers, the Kings, and the Avalanche. Now, I don't want to get too far into this, but seeing these things come out now about a trade, it does make sense. As much as I don't want to see it, as much as I hate to say it makes sense, it does make sense because of what Cam Neely had to say and the reaction from maybe Jeremy Swayman indirectly, but Louis Gross for sure, whether or not that was a mixture of him and Jeremy Swayman discussing this situation. Either way, the trade market now is going to be heating up for Jeremy Swayman regardless of what happens until we see pen on paper. And, a lot of people are going to be concerning about this, and we are going to talk about this in the live stream tomorrow. Keep in mind, pop in, make sure to come and discuss this. We have a lot of stuff to go over, but the Swayman trade aspect of things is now starting to heat up. Don't worry yet. That's why I'm coming here to say right now, don't worry yet. I'll still be keeping updates on everything and keeping you guys updated with everything we're getting from the negotiations, from the trade reports, from everything. But the trade things are going to be starting to heat up now. We're going to see some people, but just want to say, take it easy. Keep in mind, this is just starting. We may be in the clear right now. Still don't know what's going on, but that's all I got in this video. Let me know what you think about this whole stuff. What do you think about a potential trade? Hopefully we don't see one, but there's a lot of people saying that they want to see Swayman gone now because of what they're going through with the Bruins, with the management, asking for too much money. It does make sense at the end of the day. But remember, as I said, keep in mind, hit the sub button and click the bell as well, so you get notified when we go live tomorrow. You're not going to want to miss the stream. We're going to have a lot of discussion going on about this. But that's all I got in this video. If you did enjoy, give it a like, hit the sub button as well. I'm signing up. Thank you for watching. Hope you have a great day. See you later.